Everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful July 4th weekend. We are trying to fit in some uh, episodes before the weekend.
Yeah.
So, we're going to start off with our personal high school experiences, which will be definitely interesting since I was in high school like 12 years ago, something about that, um, compared to James, who just graduated. So, yeah.
I'm glad I'm outside of that.
You want me to start about my experience
Oh, you can
or?
start because
Okay.
mine's gonna be very brief.
Yeah, yeah, because you never showed up. I went all the time. I also had a mom that was a teacher, so felt a little bit more obligated to go. Um, first off, some of my very close students know this, but I was like emo goth scene when I was in middle school and high school
Yeah.
until I hit sophomore year.
Then
So,
we hit
like,
the switch.
yeah. So, in seventh, eighth, and ninth grade, I was your like iconic scream queen kind of look. Um, but then my sophomore year, I actually joined show choir. So think the show Glee.
That just tied it all together. That's all that did.
I didn't really want to do it. It wasn't something I ever thought of doing at first. And then my choir teacher and my friends like convinced me. Honestly, I didn't want to be left away, like left out. And a lot of my friends were doing it, so I was like, all right. Um so yeah, I started off with the little hoodlums basically, but honestly, they are like the nicest group. The outcasts, I feel like, are the nicest group in
The
high
who?
school. Like the kids that like dress funky and like have their own
I
small little.
we still got a couple of them to this day.
Yeah, of course you do, but I feel like because of how like alternative and funky they are, they're some of the more like accepting
Yeah.
of people, and like they'll let a lot more people within their group, I feel,
They don't
compared.
judge much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're happy to kind of have you around unless you like mess with them in some type of way. Show choir girls are not the same. Show choir girls are just vicious. But I'll tell you what, show choir guys are even more vicious. Just like downright horrible. When my brother was in high school, and he's 4 years older than me, when he was in high school, he partied a lot more than I did. I actually did not go to like any parties. I was very like low key to myself. I had my very small, close knit group of friends,
Hmm.
and we would just like kind of like run around doing our own stuff at night and avoided like the big parties and things like that.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
what I was on.
but my brother was not that way. He loved to go out and like do stuff. And he said that there was a party where these show choir guys had like had been there, and that one of them fell asleep on like the couch, and so the other boys jerked off into a cup and poured it all over the sleeping dude's face. Like that is assault.
I would have lit that motherfucker on fire.
That is that's actually sexual
Whole house
assault.
coming upside down.
Yeah, so that's my crazy story. Maybe I shouldn't put it out there, but I am. And then after my sophomore year, I decided I didn't want to continue doing show choir,
Hmm.
and I joined the IB program thinking I could do it. I really wanted to just do IB art, and then I got roped into doing it all, and I didn't like that. And so I had started doing IB, and then like a month in, I was like, I don't want to do this, but my whole school administration was horrible. The thing is with IB is you get money for every student that's in it. And so they didn't want to let me go. So I had to actually leave my school. Like I had to drop out and go to a different high school because they would not let me out of the program. I know another girl that went
Oh, they were trying
did
to get some money.
oh yeah, they want money. They want money.
Yeah, they were trying to get some money.
There's another girl that I went to high school with, same grade. She also only wanted to do the IB music program,
Mm-hmm.
but got roped into doing all of it. And she was like, "This is stressing me out way too much. I don't want to continue doing this. I don't think I need to do this to do what I want to do later on in my life."
Right.
And the only way that they would let her out was like me, either drop out or she had to get a doctor's note saying that she was clinically depressed and willing to kill herself. So that is what she did.
They was that bad over some money.
Yeah,
Over some little
that
change.
bad. We had a horrible administration. I have other stories I can talk about later on about my high school experience. Um, so anyway, I ended up going from 400 students in my class
Mm-hmm.
to a school where it was only 60 of us in a class
That'd be so dope, though.
because it was this like small farm school.
That'd be so dope.
Dude, and like my
What?
senior year, we did the whole like drive your tractor to school
That'd
day
be
and like
dope.
stuff like
Better
that.
than
I
what this
obviously
is.
didn't because I didn't
Yeah.
live close enough and I didn't have that in my life. But yeah, people were funny. Um, some people like rode the little tricycles that were like,
That's dope. That's dope.
yeah. So I actually really liked that experience. I wish it could have been under different circumstances, but I'm glad that I graduated in such a small class. Really helped me decide what I wanted to do later on in my life. I also graduated high school early by a semester because my grandma got sick. And I just thought, I don't need to be here. I have all my credits. My family owned a flower shop, and my mom was a teacher. So I graduated early, like I said, and I worked in my family's business. And I would also go to my mom's school and help her out.
That's dope.
Yeah. So
Gary,
yeah,
Indiana.
Gary, Indiana. Um, a lot to say about that place, but uh, my one thing though is if you are someone in high school that wants to get out, don't get out and then just sit around. Go do something. Like build a skill, help people out, get a job, do something that's beneficial. Don't just sit at home because that's not going to help you out. But yeah, I graduated early. I had my small group of friends. I'm not gonna lie, I do not talk to almost anyone that I hung out with in high school because I wanted
Mm-mm.
out so
Me neither.
badly. Like I wanted out of school so badly. I wanted out of my hometown so
Yeah.
badly. And I'm on good terms with my parents and my family, and I have the few people that I still make sure to say hello to, but I knew where I grew up was not the place I wanted to be
Yeah.
long term. But that's my immediate personal high school experience. Like I said, I have a lot more stories that will be tossed out in other episodes, but yeah, so from freshman to senior, that was me.
Boy, my freshman senior reckless as hell. But
He was never there.
I was thing is, I don't. How can I put this in a way where I won't get dragged?
I'm very good at doing
It very
that.
in my head, school wasn't very beneficial to me. I
Which
found,
is total BS.
yeah, it's gonna be, but I didn't find it very beneficial to me because throughout the span of freshman to senior year, I was doing things outside of school that I found more beneficial, and then I was, doing what I needed to do. I felt more productive outside of school. So it's like I felt like school was just like in my way. So it wasn't a big necessity to me.
Which I
Um,
feel like a lot of high school students that I have also feel like high school is not beneficial to them unless they are on a very specific academic track. But I'm going to tell you right
yeah.
now, that's not the reality of life.
With me, my circumstances was a little bit different. But I mean, when I was at school, I don't think school was the problem. It half of the battle was just me trying to get there. Like, cause Granted, I do stay 45 minutes to an hour from school when I was going to school. But when I was there, my life was easy. Like, I was cool with everybody. I was cool with all the teachers. I didn't have a problem. Everybody from the front desk to ISS and the janitors. Like, I was just cool with everybody and anybody. So, and plus I was a student athlete from freshman year to the beginning of senior year. I didn't play my senior season. But it was like, when I was at school, it was cool. And I was still an AB student for the most part. Except, I'm not going to say her name, but love her so much. Miss Miss J. I love Lady to death. But she hate she didn't hate me, but she held me accountable. So, which I really did appreciate. But at the same time, I was checked out after sophomore year. I didn't
Which
have.
is the worst thing because sophomore and junior years are your hardest years.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I pulled out with a 3.0 barely, like barely
Damn,
3.0.
dude. I'm not gonna
So
lie, I don't know why I came out with because I was not an
oh,
academic
I was
weapon. I did not care about academics at all. I just wanted to make sure that I was doing well enough
to get through.
in class.
Yeah,
My whole thing was I'll do what I want to do. Like I'll figure it out somehow and I'll get to college. Um, and I'm not a huge person that's like, you have to go to college. I talk to my students like that all the time. Like, you don't have to go to college, go to trade school, pick up a trade or pick up a skill, like, get a job that would end up helping you along the way, you know?
yeah,
Go to college if you're interested. However, I had parents that went to college and they're not necessarily the first people in their family to go to college, but they definitely are some of the first ones to really succeed in
hmm,
going to college.
yeah,
And so to them, college was very important. And honestly, no other choice for my brother and I. And I am grateful for the degrees I have now, but I didn't want to go. I
yeah.
did not want to go.
It was some days I just wake up and I was like, I'm not going today. It doesn't matter. And it was a point in time where I kind of did care about my education. So like, I would email my teachers on the day I didn't come in. I'm like, hey, y'all do
Yeah, I
the
used to
assignment from home.
praise you all the time about that. And then junior year, when I stopped seeing him so much, I was like, bro,
Yeah,
you got a problem.
I was taking a different path in life, and it wasn't even a bad path. Like, I was building my resume. I was chasing financials, and I was chasing certain things, and some of those things I was able to obtain. But I just never had that connection with school like other people do. I mean, I love the
I think a
people who
lot
chase
of
their
people
academic
your
goals.
age
I love that
feel
for
that
them,
same way, though.
but I don't know. I don't take this as like a sign from God to drop out of school. No,
Oh God, don't drop out of high school. I
just
mean,
stick it out.
getting a GRE is not equivalent to an actual high school diploma.
Ain't it GED?
Hmm. Oh, sorry. Yeah, GD, GED, GRE.
I thought we was in the military.
No, GRE is what you have to take. It's like the SAT, but for your master's and PhD.
uh,
So if you want to apply, and sorry, I'm
I ain't going
actually
that far.
thinking of going back to school.
Yeah.
So I've been like, oh my gosh, do I have to take the GRE over again? Yada yada yada. But yeah, no, the GED is
Yeah.
not equivalent to
Uh,
a high school diploma. I mean, it is, and like if for some certain reason or situation you were in required you to get a GED, that's awesome and fantastic that you did that. But there's still stigma, um, and like
just very nitpicky.
yeah, and like negative connotation behind it. So like if you are in high school and you don't have any actual dilemmas and situations to
Yeah.
just finish high school, just finish high school. Like I graduated early, like I said, but I still got a high school diploma. I did all the required
Yeah.
like classes.
It's
So
just a mental game at that, and I mean, it's also how you present yourself. I felt like from freshman year, I feel like I was really good at. That's why I came across, and I was cool with all my teachers.
didn't you say that you like were never here
Yeah.
freshman year?
Yeah, I was probably never here freshman year neither. The only teacher I had a bad rapport with, I'm not gonna say his name on camera, but
Yeah, that'd probably
that
be good.
I hated that brother, and that brother hated me, and it was okay. And I would try my best and everything to like make up the assignments, everything. And
Oh
But it
my
just give me
gosh,
so much
don't get me
attitude.
started about
So it's
missing
like,
assignments.
but see,
But
I
we'll
know
talk about
some
that another
students will
time.
like cry about it. Like they'll be like, "Oh man," blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Look, okay, I know I'm late. You could take the little 10 points off. That's cool.
Oh, you know what
Just let me
truly
turn it in."
annoys the crap out of me is when students are like, um, I deserve that grade. And it's like, what do you mean you deserve that grade?
No, you don't, big
You
bro.
do not deserve that grade at
And
all.
I mean, like I was barely there, but it's like at the same time, like I'll make up my assignments and I'll get the stuff I need to get done. But I suppose like a student perspective, one thing that I did realize like going on, like the teachers have a really heavy workload too, and they're human too. Like
Yes, I
just
want to
because
live
you
a
turn
life
in
outside of
something,
teaching.
yeah,
So,
if you turn in something late, don't expect it to be great in the next 30 seconds.
oh God, no.
Like I had one teacher, and I'm very cool with her. Like to this day, I would turn something in on time. I wouldn't see it graded for like 3 4 weeks,
That's so
and I was perfectly okay with it.
yeah, my first year and maybe second year,
Mm-hmm.
I was like trying to like grade makeup work right off the bat, like one, two, three, get it done, get it done. Then this year, honestly, I was like, here's the late bin, and when I get to it, I get to
You
it,
get to it,
and
yeah.
like I would have kids that would be like, you haven't graded it, and I'm like,
I know.
yeah, I know. But you also didn't turn it in on time, and some of them turned it in like a month later.
Nice
Where
month,
I'm like,
yeah.
this you already took the test. Like at this point,
It's
what's
regular
the
paperwork.
point?
And they still be like,
But
"Can you grade it? Can you grade? Why you taking points off?" I don't know.
yeah,
But I mean, at least me. And also, it's like even though I was never at school, when I was at school, what took me through it was the people I knew and like the people I knew along the way, and the people I got along with. Cause and those are the people that like keep me there. So like I will always be dapping up a couple of the coaches, cool with the ISS people, cool with the janitors, like just cool with everybody, and just on good respect terms with everybody. So it kind of made my life easier, especially towards the end. Like everything was just very very smooth until all the way up until graduation, and then I walked stage, and then that was history in itself. But
yes.
and I don't really have no crazy stories. I got for the 50th time. I was never at school to have a crazy story for real.
Also, you were just like
Like
you want to you personify yourself as like a super chill person.
I definitely am,
Yeah, I mean,
but
I
like
don't know if he really is, because guys, if you actually know James, he can be like
it's only around
mad
certain
chaos.
people.
But
Only around certain people.
when he's at school around majority of people, he's just like, hey,
I don't know what that was,
that's
but
exactly
that ain't me. I,
that's
I,
exactly you.
I'm minding my little business.
Yeah,
Um,
going, hey.
that's not me. I I definitely did not wear my headphones in the school. Okay, because that's illegal. Just I
Well, I
don't
mean,
want to
now it is
don't want to
illegal.
admit to guilt, but yeah, I just like mind my business. And like at lunchtime, I'll just go off like by the stairs. For the first majority of the half, I was with her a lot, but
Yeah.
our school became picky with what they wanted to do. But
New
I
state
mean,
laws. What can you do?
yeah. So I mean, long story short, James never was really at school.
Yeah.
But when he was at school, it was lit. It was turnt. It was never a dull moment when James was in the classroom.
So his experience was
So
null, almost zero,
yeah,
and my experience was crazy highs and lows. Um, I would not say I peaked in high school, though. I would like to say I peaked in college, but that's another story for
yeah,
another time. And I would like to say, I mean, I think that's a wrap on our initial stories and understandings who we were in
yeah.
high school.
I was a very simple person. Came to school like 2 3 times a week, and I made it.
Yeah, there you go.
So
We both graduated. That's what
yeah,
matters.
you ain't gotta be stupid smart. Just
No.
enough to get through, and you'll be all right.
All right, so give us a follow, subscribe. We love you.